It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
The NFL preseason picking up steam, half dozen games. The Raiders rookie quarterback Fernando Mendoza up and down. He got 4 drives, threw for 97 yards and a touchdown. Cardinals won 27-14. A common story, PK. 16-0 in college, but it's a different game when you get to the NFL, even in the preseason.
He's going to be something. It's going to be Fernando Mania. When we sit here on March 1st, we're going to look back and just say, oh. And you can quote me.
Okay, I will. Sounded like you might be working on some lyrics there, but I wasn't sure.
I just going with my heart as usual.
Okay. The Steelers, well, they got themselves a veteran quarterback who doesn't need to play in the regular season, but they've also got themselves a quarterback who's in his 40s, so they better be developing a young guy. Drew Lar gets his chance, 10 of 13 for 153 yards and 2 scores. Steelers beat the Packers 28-9. I should have mentioned Gardner Minshew, 14 of 16 for 101 yards. I will.
Mention it. Go ahead.
For the Cardinals. There you go. I did. I mentioned it.
What did he do?
Gardner Minshew, 14 of 16 for 101 yards. There you go. Young quarterbacks, who's going to break out?
Gardner Minshew's not a young quarterback.
Nah, he's not anymore, is he?
I don't think you were talking about him, though, were you?
I was going to say, are you talking about Gardner or are you talking about Fernando?
And
Mendoza?
actually, man, what a story. He was going to quit, and then Leach picked him up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Talking about resurrection.
And here he's still in the league. I mean, he's probably not a prime-time, big-time quarterback, but paycheck's coming. And he's got the pension and everything, and those are cool stories.
Anthony Richardson, 11 of 14 for 145 yards for the former Florida quarterback. Colts and Patriots played to a 13-13 tie.
Why didn't they go into a kickoff?
Right? 45-yard field goal. Now back up. Now 50-yard field goal. Now back up. A 55-yard field goal. 3 more games tonight. Bucks and Jets on the NFL Network, and the Broncos and the Falcons are on ESPN Unlimited if you want to check those games out. Chicago Bears will not change their name if they build a stadium across state lines in Indiana. That's according to the team chairman, George H. McCaskey. We will be the Chicago Bears whether we're in Arlington Heights or whether we're in Hammond. Our focus is on Hammond. That's where we're advancing our efforts. And that's where the bulk of our time, attention, and resources are being devoted.
No, I don't care what he says. If they build it, I will change it.
We'll get to that. Nice. Way to tie it into the headlines, though. Free agent corner Terrion Arnold is signed with the Seattle Seahawks on a 1-year deal. He's facing 8 felony charges stemming from a kidnapping and robbery in Tampa, Florida in February. Subject to being disciplined by the NFL, could be suspended or deemed ineligible to play by the league. We were talking about something else earlier this week, PK, not this story, and you said it is curious how some people get a second chance, some people get an 8th chance, some people never get the second chance. It just seems to depend. Circumstances and talent.
Well, talent for sure, but we were talking about specifically Tony Romo, and he's an analyst, and he's fine, and they're all fine. I don't really care whether he has the job or not, but doesn't look like he may not get a second chance, but others do. I'm not passing judgment. I'm certainly not advocating for what he did by any stretch, but yeah, some get more chances than others, and I guess it's an individual thing, but I just find the whole human behavior is fascinating unto itself, for sure.
DJ PK.
Hashtag college football.
Army head coach Jeff Monken has a new 5-year contract entering his 13th season at the helm of the Black Knights. He's won 89 games, second winningest coach in school history. The record's 112, so 3, 4, 5 years, somewhere in there. Maybe he gets that. He led him to the American Conference Championship in 2024. They went 12-2 that year. So that's a pretty good run, PK. 13 years, and you're getting a 5-year deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when with Niumatalolo, Navy was flying high. Air Force has usually been a level of consistent, but it seemed like Army sucked. And
Army was the one who couldn't get it together.
They had 5 straight coaches before him who left with losing records.
And he'll be, he's 59 years old, so I can see him doing that and being the winningest coach and being right there and doing what they do. I've been to 2 of the 3, and they're special places. I've not been to Army. Actually, I've been to the Academy many, many times over.
What got you to Navy?
Just back there at the time. I've written recommendations for young people. They've asked me to do that, and I've known close friends who have kids there. So, and I live close enough anyway. It wasn't right down the street, obviously.
Yeah. DJ and PK.
#NBA.
What is Bradley Beal going to do? There was a push for him to go to Miami and join Giannis Antetokounmpo, but instead he's staying with the Clippers. 2-year contract, $13.2 million. He will stay in L.A.
He really has fallen off the map, man.
Yeah, really.
Went to Phoenix and
he missed the entirety of last year with a hip injury, if I recall.
It's like he retired. He went to Phoenix to live in the sun, and his game, I don't know what happened on that, so I'm not expecting much. Maybe he can have a bounce back. I did make a call, find out what was going on with the Laker deal, and what I had heard was that what's his face, Walter, he borrowed some money to buy the Lakers, but I guess it was from insurance, and the Securities and Exchange needed to approve it. It wasn't done, and so he has to pay back the loans immediately, and so he needs that money. And the other guys, what was it, Kushner and Iger, yeah, they were ready to go in Vegas, but some guy named Adam called them and said, hey, the Lakers are going to be for sale, and that's why they pivoted.
So they got tipped off.
Yeah.
The league got in touch with them and said, "How would you be interested in this?" And they said, "Absolutely." And they pivoted, and that's how it came together so quick, because they already had the thing in place for Vegas expansion. So it was very easy to just change over because it was already there. It's not like they were putting together a group and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And so it was sure, and they make that call because, it was highly unusual that it came together so quickly. And but it did, and in my conversation, that makes complete and total sense.
Yeah.
So now he'll have that money to take care of the other side, and because it's related to the Dodgers, what's going to happen. And basically nothing from over there, and away you go.
The NBA schedule is out. The Utah schedule is there, and I think, PK, you need to go on the road with the team. I would suggest Friday, January 22nd and Sunday, January 24th. They're going down to play Phoenix twice in 3 days in January. Can't complain about a schedule that has you doing that.
Well, by the time I get to Phoenix, you'll be rising.
Nice. Nice. Anything else about this schedule? People always wonder about national stuff. One ESPN game, one Prime Video game. Got, it looks like a handful of games, 4 of them slated for NBC. So, half dozen national TV appearances for people in
I would be lying if I looked at it and I thought, I'm going to take a stance because I know you're going to look at it, and I'm not a schedule guy, and I was going to hold true to my principles.
They're going to open the season Wednesday, October 21st in Memphis. The home opener is Friday, October 23rd against New Orleans. And Walker Kessler and the Lakers are here for Game 3, Sunday, October 25th. David Locke with more on the schedule, the Jazz, the sale of the Lakers. We'll talk with David coming up at 8:30. DJ and PK.
#Major League Baseball.
Field of Dreams. Kyle Schwarber living the dream. Not one, but 2 homers launched into the cornfields beyond the outfield wall. Philadelphia Phillies end up beating the Twins as they return to Dyersville, Iowa. 7-1 the final score.
Yeah, wow.
How about those Hall of Famers walking in from the corn? You love the theater of it all?
Absolutely, man. It's just baseball has a romanticism that few can match. It just does. Whether you like it or not is not the point. They can reconnect, and for whatever reason, football movies, basketball movies, they don't resonate to the level that a baseball movie does. It just doesn't. And then that thing, who would have known, what did we say, 45 years ago or whatever it was, or 38 years ago when it came out? I think, as I said,
it's 37. It was 1989.
89, yeah. That this would have happened. I mean, I would have think that when they made that movie, they're not thinking of that. And here we are, and somebody at MLB said, hey, we need to connect that. Because people love that stuff, and they walk out of the cornfields, and you see guys that were your childhood players, and maybe in some cases your heroes. And Raleigh Fingers now, the only difference, maybe a couple of pounds, and the mustache is gray. But other than that, and it takes you back to an innocent childhood. Hopefully you had an innocent childhood.
Yeah, right, to go back to.
And to a better, not necessarily a better time.
We might be romanticizing it, but we get the
time.
idea. We get the idea.
Yeah.
It's fun to go back decades and, there's my guy.
And that you see them walk out. Tony Perez, Big Red Machine. He has that same smile that he had 45, 50 years ago. And fortunately, he's still alive. I mean, just, you're trying to look. Okay. Oh, who's that guy? I know that guy. I remember that guy. As they're walking out, you know what I mean? And they're coming out, and the people are clapping. It's just nothing like it. If you don't like it, change the station right now. I'm ordering you. I do not want you to hear my voice. Because I know you won't.
Reading a story leading up to that, the guy who was given credit in the story was the commissioner.
Great.
Yeah, he was there visiting in 2016 and thought, we can do something with this.
He was right.
The whole, just romanticizing the game and creating an event, something that can be marketed and something that people can really buy into. And then it got slowed down. They were going to try to do it earlier and the pandemic hit, but 2021, 2022, there's a push to do it next year. Obviously, we don't even know if they're going to be playing at this point next year, so hard to invest in a game if you know it may or may not happen. I got to believe they're going back there, though. I mean, why wouldn't you? I think these specialty games that they've spread around the country for one reason or another, I think Williamsport resonates. That's been a good idea. I went to Birmingham one time. There's got to be someplace else to go, some other story to tell. To play a game. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's like you said, man, the movie, how could you possibly know? I mean, you hear about people shoot movies, and there's always a discussion on the set, the whispers, what do you think, how's it going? And sometimes it's going well, and then it falls apart, and sometimes it's going poorly, and they pull it together, and sometimes they feel like they've captured the lightning in a bottle.
I think at its core, even if you don't like baseball or care about it or follow it or any of that, because of the time of year, it's a summer night where you can hang with people you like in a relaxed atmosphere.
And baseball knows they can get the stage either mostly or completely to themselves at this time of year, staging these events. They can pick a time when most of the other sports are pretty quiet in the summer, and they can have the big story. Dodgers, their closer Edwin Diaz struggled again, gave up a 2-run ninth-inning lead against the Brewers. Brewers come from behind and win 5-4. Dodgers say they're sticking with the star, but having a closer who's struggling, PK, not a great recipe in the postseason. They've got 6 weeks to figure it out.
Oh, well, he hasn't been there effective. He's been injured most of the season, but he hasn't really done a thing this whole season for him.
It's been a struggle. Jacob deGrom left the Rangers game with the Angels due to right triceps fatigue after just 2 innings. He's going to have an MRI. He thinks he's going to be all right. Talking confidently, going to have an MRI nonetheless. And the Yankees coming off that 10-run game. Got shut out 1-0 on 4 hits. Down go the Yankees. Seattle gets the win there. Bees lose to El Paso 11-8. Tony Park's on the call tonight, 6:20, right here on the Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
Real Salt Lake advancing in the League's Cup. They're going to face Leon August 25th, 6th, or 7th. We'll get the date later, but in late August, they're going to play that quarterfinal match.
What did you say, 25-6 or 4?
25th, 6th, or 7th. I did not.
Sitting cross-legged on the floor?
I did not go to the old Chicago song.
Nice poll.
Waiting for the break of day?
That was old school right there. Waiting for the break of day. Is that Peter Cetera?
Way back, yeah. I mean, they've got about 87 iterations of that.
Yeah. League's Cup in the offing right now. They are focused on Minnesota United at America First Field tomorrow night as MLS play resumes. Pablo Mastroeni is going to join us at 8 o'clock. We'll talk with him about that. The Utah Royals host Bay FC tonight. They'll be at America First Field. First kick at 8 o'clock. Coverage on the Zone starts at 7:30. That's what's trending, brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. David Locke, radio voice of the Jazz, will be along. We'll talk Lakers sale and Jazz schedule with him at 8:30. And it's Free Ticket Friday. We're giving a family 5-pack of tickets to Aerofest 2026. Sticks and Chicago. Nice job, PK. At Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on August 30th. Coming up, the question of the day is next. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeCoe.
Joining us now, it is the head coach of the Utah State Aggies, Bronco Mendenhall.
I know you're so process-driven and there's a plan to every part of the season, but is this your favorite part?
There's an excitement that comes to the start of every season for sure. I would have to say, just in terms of full transparency, I really like the off-season. I like the molding, forming, crafting, forging the next team through the weight workouts and through the runs and through the early morning workouts and through spring practice. I think that's my favorite era. Nothing takes away from the season, or can it take the place of the season, and the excitement going into today certainly at a really high level. I think foundationally that my favorite part is the formation of the team, and now this part where you get to see kind of the fruition of the formation of your program.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals, honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. KSLSports.com/contest, and listen every Thursday afternoon to Jake and Ben for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Question of the morning. The Jazz schedule is out. How many games are you going to?
Yeah, a lot.
Waiting for that since the moment you
I
posted
just thought of it.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. When you asked it.
May he play forever. His 12 minutes a game off the bench for decades. Block Lennox says, no games, but I'm going to watch them all from my computer chair while I work in the middle of the day because Straya, which is Australian for I live in Sydney. Jazz fans
Very
everywhere,
cool.
PK.
Okay. That's,
Yeah, I clicked on that because I was trying to, because Australia, clicked on it. Sure enough, he lives in
because of Joe, or is
New
he
South Wales.
expatriate, moved down there? I wonder what his story is. There can't be a lot of Jazz fans in Australia. Or maybe there are because of Joe, and Exum didn't really pan out because of the injuries and all that stuff, and who knows if he would have been good anyway. But Joe was certainly a success story, and Joe is a people person, so maybe that's it, man. Maybe I once I was downtown, and I don't know what I was doing. I might have been going to the game, but a guy asked me, hey, how far is the Delta Center? I said, it's just like a couple of blocks right over there. And he says, I'm from Australia. And, I can obviously knew the accent there. Knew he was from someplace, maybe New Zealand or something close to it. And it was in the early days of Joe, and he did say, "Yeah, I wanted my guy Dante Exum." And
okay,
it might have even been that first year or second year, or early in the Exum run. And then I asked him, "What about Joe?" And he really didn't know a whole lot. And then I wonder if I would have met him 10 years later, because Joe had himself a brilliant career. And obviously his best days were right here.
I'm going to guess that he's an Australian because of Joe. Going back on his timeline, it seems like it's all Australian stuff. So if he left Utah and moved down there, it was a long time ago.
And Joe, well, not necessarily Utah, but Joe's wife, what's her name?
Renee and the kids.
Wow.
Yeah. The netball is a female sport there, and it's very, very big, and she was one of the better players. So she has or certainly had a little bit of a following too. But that's cool, yeah. And then daytime games, I guess, with the time difference. It's tomorrow today.
Tends to be, depending on where you are in the country, about 7 hours, and depends on daylight savings time here, but about 7 hours earlier tomorrow. So we're doing our show at like 1:24 in the afternoon there on Saturday. It's early Saturday afternoon there. The Jazz schedule out. How many games you going to go to? And Tyson says, well, I guess it just depends on how lucky I am calling in on Wednesdays.
All right, Win Tickets Wednesday. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully, was it Tyson? Hopefully he wins.
Mickey says I usually go to 1 or 2. I'm poor.
Well, it does cost, and I'm very sensitive to that situation there. You can't expect all fans to go because of the fact of just the price, and it's not just the tickets; it's parking and all sorts of stuff. If you want to get something to eat, blah blah blah. We know it costs, right? We know it costs, and some people literally are priced out.
Disposable income can be hard to come by, and it takes more disposable income than ever to get into these games. Brian says it depends on the price of tickets. Hopefully, I'm going to see the Pistons and the Heat games.
Be Cade Cunningham fan and
Giannis.
Maybe Bam Adebayo.
Could be Bam.
I was Jaime Jaquez, but he's gone now.
Yeah, he was in the Giannis deal.
He grew up in the Ventura, Oxnard area and went to Westwood and then went to Miami. This is going to be a shock to live in Milwaukee.
In Ventura, he wasn't far from the water. Westwood, he wasn't far from the water.
He must have been when they told him, like, oh, come on. You're kidding me, man.
His teammates, I don't want to hear about your problems.
And then he's got to spend most of his, at least half the time in Milwaukee. Yeah. I can remember Don McClain told a story. He was a big UCLA guy and always media friendly and has done a lot of broadcasting. And he was talking about he's a Simi Valley guy and then played there. And he was playing for the Nets. And he says, and they're on the bus in Phoenix, and they're going to the arena, and he looks down right next to him, just stoplight, is Dan Marley. I don't remember if he said he was shirtless, but he had this great tan, and he was in a convertible, and it's in January, and he thought, this sucks. I want to play here.
How many games you going to? Michelle says none. Go Spurs.
Oh, go home, Spurs. Spurs.
Brad says it remains to be seen. Maybe none. Maybe some. Brad's playing it by ear. It's not all cash related. Daniel says it depends on how many Saturday home games we have.
Did you count them up?
I've not.
Saturday.
They do have one on Halloween, which is going to conflict with college football. 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Halloween. That's a Saturday.
The home opener you said was Saturday, didn't you?
Home opener is Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Friday, October 23rd, and the Lakers are in on Sunday. They skip over Saturday there in the opening week.
So they're playing a matinee on Halloween, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Leave the Saturday night Halloween parties and the Saturday night trick-or-treaters.
Who are they playing?
They can, everyone can double up here. If you go to the game Saturday, October 31, you're going to see the Portland Trailblazers at 1 o'clock.
All right. Definitely a winnable game there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know the Devils are coming in for in Provo, and I think that is the Utes. Are they at Cincinnati? I believe they're away.
I think you're right.
Halloween. That'll be a tough follow, though, for me anyway, with the
On a big football Saturday.
And you know, that's deep into the college conference season. And I'm sure there'll be ramifications for all four of those teams.
They'll be feeling high stakes at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess Portland is the kind of game we'll look at as a swing game. That's a team they could finish in front of, a team they could finish behind.
I don't see it. I see the Jazz being better.
Blow right by them. Better be a W at home.
And I like what Portland is doing, but, you know, they've got a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got, what's that, the owner's scrimping, and would he give him a one-year deal, and which is unheard of. And so I'm wondering if that will be, if that guy will get in the way. Condon, I think his name is, right there.
Tom Dundon.
Dundon. He owns the hockey team
Carolina
in Carolina.
Hurricanes.
They won the whole thing there, but over here it seems like he's pinching pennies. And I wonder what effect that is. There going to be a trickle-down effect where the Jazz right now doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like everything is pointing in a positive direction.
As far as that BYU game, I'm figuring there must be an 8:30 game for a TV network somewhere. ASU at BYU, same time as or same day as Kansas State at Colorado. Those are the only two possibilities for the late game.
Well, I hope it's Kansas State at Colorado.
Yeah, Utah and Arizona are both on the road.
Because I got to get home and pass out Hershey's chocolate bars. I don't.
You're not skipping.
I go big time. I blow out the budget for Halloween.
Atta kid. You're not one of those
We're
turnout.
we're getting like the Costco boxes of candy bars.
Yeah, but not crap. I mean, some hard.
You're not giving out candy corn at the Kinahan's
and not
household.
hollow chocolate. Every Easter when I got hollow chocolate, give it to the dog when no one was looking. I want the solid
dog
stuff.
gets the subpar candy. Dog's all hyped up on sugar.
Yeah, that's what I want. And I live in an older area now, but a lot of there's still enough kids, and then people bring their grandkids over and the line out is out the door. Right? It's to the sidewalk because they know that I don't skimp. I splurge. I'm going all the way.
I guess I missed out on not going to the Kinahan house on Halloween.
Yeah, and I'll even take repeat customers. I don't mind. You can come back. It's almost like a buffet.
The Kinahan Halloween buffet.
Yeah.
You need a sign.
I just signed
You
it
got to
up.
hang that across.
And I've got several levels of chocolate, and I say, the choice is yours.
Entry-level chocolate?
Hey, Chuckarama. You need to put welcome to the Kinahan
Got your
Halloween
milk
buffet.
chocolate?
Yeah.
You got your dark chocolate. You got the bite size. You got the full size.
Exactly. And
You know what you don't
and-
have? The hollow chocolate.
But then, if you're super nice to him, maybe a king size one in it for you.
No, easily, man. And then when it gets closer to 8, I am really loose.
You're just dumping the back in their bag.
Can't have this stuff left over. Then you just got to go to the gym and run it all off.
Well, yeah. And maybe this year it might be a little bit better because there's no school the next day. I always felt like, oh, man, I would be made fun of by the neighborhood kids because I went to parochial school and had to wear a uni every day, which I never really minded, but somehow they would tease you on that. But because of the All Saints Day, November 1st, I always got the next day off. So for 8 years, I taunted back at them fetchers, you got to go to school the next day. I'm sleeping in.
Nice.
And then my parents both worked, and it's just me and the dog alone with all this candy. I win.
Oh, so you had a heyday. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Our neighbors are all about the Halloween. They'll be going wild. They'll have inflatable ghosts or whatever. The yard, the roof, everything will be decorated. See the Kinahans match that up. Or maybe you just invest totally in the chocolate.
I don't do any decorations. If the woman wants to do it, she can do it. And I give her freedom to express herself as she sees fit.
How many Jazz games you going to this year? The schedule's out. And while Daniel's waiting on the Saturday games, Earl has said, I'm hopefully going to one game. I would probably go to 10 if I could afford it.
Yeah, I can see that.
10 is once or twice a month. I've always been curious about that. Some of the season ticket holders, it's quite the investment in time. And we always talk about the money because we always hear about tickets, price, and all that. But it's something to block out, 3 home games in a week when they have those and keep showing up.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the secondary market
business, and they can give them away to clients and whatnot, or employees. That tends to be the case. But I believe they have all those types of packages there in the season ticket sales. As far as I don't know what they are.
Half season, quarter, games, yeah, they package
have a special that you can go. Yeah, I wish there could be for especially for the kids, and if you're a hardcore, that you could go to at least one game. Now, if you got the money, great, but I'm talking about people who are living paycheck to paycheck and really have to worry about that stuff, that they should have an opportunity to go. Because the team is for them, too, just as much as it is for the big corporation people. I saw a thing on social media saying, the Field of Dreams is great and all, and we love it, but I wish that the locals could go and not have it be all these highfalutin people who come into town, or in this case, into that area for that game. And we know that. We've heard about the Super Bowl being so corporate versus the Joe average fan. So I wish there was a way that if you've proven yourself to be a hardcore fan, that you get to go to at least one game a year.
I did read a thing that with the first game in Iowa, they did a deal restricting the tickets by zip code just to the state of Iowa. Now, I got to believe there's some corporate people in the 8,000 mix, but when they do the general sale, and I don't know if that's 1,000 tickets or 5,000, they put in some temporary bleachers, so the attendance is about 8,000. But they did try to get some Iowans into that Field of Dreams deal.
At least in the beginning. A guy like you can go and just buy a house there for that game.
That's a lot of work. Caden says, I went to 8 Jazz games last year, I think, maybe 9. So Caden is that fan who goes once or twice a month.
Well, that'll be a great opportunity this year because you should see the boys trying to win. And I'm going to bet that has Will Hardy been ejected from a game during his 4 years? This will be the first year.
It's going to be different. A little more fire in the sideline.
Right. The fourth quarter isn't going to be about development. It's going to be about winning the freaking game.
No more leaning on the table.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how his demeanor is, because he full well knows now the time to win is literally right now. And even if you don't have a roster capable competing for the title, you still have to win, because the chances of you not making the playoff, making the final seem really, really slim, as opposed to not making the playoff, blah, 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 making the playoff, and then making the playoff again and getting a better seed, and then that third year of winning really have an opportunity to take off. I mean, that's usually the history there, especially with these young dudes and a kid like Peterson. I mean, he should be well on his way into his third year to whatever he's not necessarily a finished product at the third year, but well onto his way of being what we think and hope he can become. And we need to only look as far as George, because he had the breakout year in the third year, right? And we all said, bye, George. And then it's so funny, we're talking about Keontae George and Darren Peterson, and all of a sudden we're overlooking Ace Bailey, where at this time last year it was all Ace Bailey, right?
He's still a big story.
Right.
Even if a couple other stories have elbowed their way to the front of the stage, he's still a big story.
At minimum, they're now sharing it, but we still need to account for him and his development. and what can he become? You know, we had Locke on last year talking about, he could be the leading scorer by February. Of course, that was before the draft and before we knew they were going to get with the lottery ball number 2 and all that stuff. So that just adds to it. A whole lot of intrigue going into this season here as far as what the individuals can become and then what the collective can become.
Harley says, I'm trying to hit the most Jazz and the most Mammoth games that I have ever attended in a single season. It's still not going to be a ton, but hopefully I can get a hold of some decently priced tickets once a month.
Great.
Harley's looking to get out.
Yeah. That'd be great. I think I saw a thing that said there's 20 times they play together, and during the course of the winter, there's only like 47 nights that one of them isn't playing.
And then for you and I, let's plug in college hoops into those 47 nights and see how many more of them go away.
I would think very few. I mean, I eat and go downstairs.
And then there's the game
and then
on.
Resurface 4 hours later.
So there'd be very few left, not very few go away.
Right.
I mean, some of the 47 probably fall outside of the college basketball. You know, something in October.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Something in October, something in April. But, man, through December, January, February, it's very rare to have a night with nothing going on.
Yeah. And both teams are in the winning category. You're always developing, hopefully, while you're winning. That's what set Golden State back, is that they had these draft picks, and they didn't develop. And now they are where they are, where they're sort of playing out the string, where if they would have had Wiseman and Kuminga and Moody, these high picks that they had, they would be right now ready to share and bear a significant burden.
But it didn't work out.
It didn't work, yeah. As we see, draft picks just don't, so many of them don't pan out. Crazy.
All right, DJ PK, hit us up on social media. The Jazz schedule is out. Curious how many you're going to. Of course, you can follow the games on TV, on the radio, read all about them, catch clips on social media. There's a lot of options.
I had a new way to describe me last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A new description for
You
PK.
can get to that.
All right, we'll do that next. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome to
This is Chase Scott and Ben Anderson.
Joining the show now, college football writer for CBS Sports, John Talty. I was down at Big 12 Media Days, and the buzzword was unsustainable. Is the status quo unsustainable? And if so, how long in the future is that?
You go back to the start of NIL when guys were just starting to get paid, and you had athletic directors crying poor and how this is not sustainable, we can't do this. The issue is that I feel like I've been hearing that for 5 years, and somehow the numbers keep going higher. The total numbers have probably 4x, 5x, if not more, than where they were back then. I do think for some conferences and some schools, you might eventually get that point where it's like, this is not worth it to us. We can't keep competing if such and such school is spending $50 million on their roster, and we're only spending $18 million on our roster, which there are Big 12 schools doing that this year. At a certain point, you say, can we win doing this, or do we have to find a different angle or focus on something else like basketball or another sport, and maybe we just try to get to a bowl, and that's where our aspirations are.
Catch Jake and Ben afternoons from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Don't miss your chance to win big every week on the KSL Sports Zone. Next week, you can win tickets to see Motley Crue with performances by Tesla and Extreme at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater, September 21st. Listen to KSL Sports Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. We have so many tickets. We have a free tickets Friday coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, so stick around if you want to see Styx and Chicago. It's part of Aerofest 2026 coming to the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on August 30th. So those tickets coming up in the 8 o'clock hour today. Tons of news to get to today. Baseball, basketball, football. David Locke's going to be here at 8:30. Pablo Mastroeni's talking RSL at 8:05. We had NFL football last night. Story just breaking the Texans think Graham Mertz tore his ACL in the game with the Chargers last night. They've got some additional testing to confirm the injury. More roster spots opening up as guys get hurt. One guy's problem is another guy's opportunity. We'll catch you all up to date on that. But first, we pause for a story from PK. You are wearing a new label, a new descriptive phrase, a new word. This is new territory. We've heard many things about you. He's really quiet. PK's sarcastic. PK's funny. There's some familiar ones out there. What have you got that's brand new?
Went to the Scotty McGuire concert at the Sandy Amphitheater last night. Got a little rain, but it was doable, and he's a young guy on the come in the country world, and fun time was had. And we went to have a burger before. Man, and the skies opened. Wow. I hadn't seen that kind of rain here in a long time. You get that kind of rain back east more than we do here, where it's really, really coming down. So we're sitting there and we're waiting for the rain to subside so we don't get soaked going out there. And I was watching the regionals and the Little League and all that. And I got up to go to the bathroom. These two guys smiling at me as I walked around the corner. Mm-hmm. So I said, hi. And they said, oh, hi. And came back. And then we get to go up to leave. And the guy says to me, PK, keep doing what you're doing. You're a real hoot.
You're a hoot. You're a hoot.
I'm a hoot. I've never been called a hoot. I've been called a lot of things that I can't mention, and that's just my family. And so I went over, shook his hand, very friendly guy that I am.
I haven't heard that expression in a long time. I associate that more with my parents' and grandparents' generations.
My grandparents used to.
Yeah, your grandparents? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that they were grandparent age. Mm-hmm. I'd say maybe 40s or 50s or so.
Okay.
Not that old. Still got a lot of years to go. And I said, well, thank you. And then I always have this line. They're always looking for something, you know. And it's like when that red dot shines on me when I used to do television before I got bleep canned twice. Actually 3 times because I got dumped off the jazz stuff too. So I've been fired from television 3 times. Mm-hmm. Bleep canned!
Nice, Yak.
3 times.
That's going to be a fun drop.
3 times. So I always feel like I got to leave them with something. So my wife and I get up, and I say, "Yeah, man, appreciate your, your relationship and following me." I said, "I got to ask you one thing though. If you run into my wife, don't tell me you've seen her here. You've seen me here." Oh, it works every time. It's like when I go to if I ever have to speak in front of golf people, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to next season. I got my ball retriever regripped."
I borrowed that one from you.
Every time.
I borrowed that one from you just to see, just test drive it. Nails. Just money.
So it always works.
Use it as if it's your own, people.
So I am a hoot.
I was up at Wasatch High last night, ran into a guy who has been listening to us since day one. He said he actually listened to MJB with when I was doing the show with Gordon and Ron Boone back in the day. And I asked him about his commute, and he goes, "I'm a contractor." He says, "I'm just doing my work. I'm in a house or whatever project I'm working on. I got the earphones on, just going." He says, "My kids are sick and tired of me quoting you and talking about what you guys talk about." So there you go. Heber, hello.
Good, thank you.
All right, DJ and PK, we got to take a break. When we come back, Pablo Mastroeni, RSL head coach, they're into the quarterfinals of the League's Cup. That's later this month. They will be back in MLS action tomorrow night against Minnesota United. Pablo's got several players emerging, young player emerging, somebody who's been hurt coming back, and then a young guy who's been hurt. So we'll talk with Pablo about the new faces and new names. That's next. Stay with us.